Have you ever felt a presence in your room, late at night, when you're all alone? Imagine being a young woman living in an apartment that's as old as the hills, with a history as layered and complex as the peeling wallpaper, the type of place where the creaks and groans of the building become a familiar symphony in the stillness of the night. A place where the echoes of the past seem to seep from the very walls. In this apartment, the ordinary becomes the extraordinary. The mundane becomes the mysterious. You see, this young woman begins to experience some rather peculiar events. Whispers that seem to emerge from the shadows, soft and unintelligible, yet undeniably there. They float through the air, a chilling symphony of voices that have no earthly source. And then there are the objects. Those pesky, inanimate things that should stay put, but don't. They move as though guided by an unseen hand. A cup slides across the table. A book topples off a shelf. Subtle movements that could be explained away by a draft or an uneven surface. But then again, when you're alone in the dead of night, logic tends to take a backseat to fear. But the most unsettling thing of all is the feeling of being watched. That prickling sensation at the back of your neck, the goosebumps that rise unbidden on your arms, the hair standing on end feeling that you're not alone. It's a presence that fills the room, unseen yet palpable. It's a cold breath on your neck, a shadow at the corner of your eye, a weight in the room that makes your heart pound in your chest. And as the sun sets each day, the apartment seems to grow darker, colder. The whispers grow louder, the objects move more frequently, and the presence, it grows stronger. It's as though the darkness itself has come alive. As the nights grew darker, so did the presence in her apartment. Sometimes our past follows us, other times we inherit someone else's. In the heart of our tale, a young woman finds herself drawn to the history of her new apartment. Curiosity piqued, she decides to unravel the threads of time, hoping to catch a glimpse of the lives that once filled these walls. A century ago, her home was a sanctuary for a man who was as enigmatic as he was feared. This man, shrouded in whispers and suspicion, was rumored to dabble in the world of the unseen, the occult. His name echoed in hushed tones, his presence a dark cloud that loomed over the town. His life was a tapestry of enigmas, yet nothing compared to the mystery of his sudden disappearance. One day he was there, the next he was gone, vanished like a wisp of smoke on a windy day. His absence left a void that the town filled with theories, each one more chilling than the last. Some say he was taken by the spirits he sought to control. Others whisper of a secret love affair that led to a deadly duel. Yet a few contend he simply tired of his mortal life and chose to transcend into the spirit realm. The young woman ponders over these stories, each one sending a shiver down her spine. The chilling air of her apartment seems to grow colder with each revelation, each whispered tale of the man who once called her home his own. She can almost feel his presence, a spectral imprint of a life lived long ago. Her apartment, she realizes, is not just a place of residence. It's a portal, a gateway to a past steeped in mystery and drenched in darkness. It's a living, breathing testament to the life of the man who vanished without a trace, his story etched in its walls. Her apartment was not just her home, it was a portal to a past filled with darkness. When faced with the unknown, would you run or confront it? In this chilling tale, our protagonist, a woman of unique courage, chooses the latter. Now enlightened about her apartment's eerie past, she resolves to confront the entity that has been haunting her living space. The night grows darker and the air in her apartment becomes thick with tension. The chilling breeze that once brushed past her now feels like cold, spectral fingers. The whispers she previously dismissed as figments of her imagination now echo with a menacing clarity. It's clear the entity is aware of her intentions. Yet she remains unyielding, her spirit undeterred by the escalation in paranormal activity. Her heart pounds in her chest, the thumping rhythm a stark contrast to the eerie silence that engulfs the room. Her breaths come in short, shaky gasps. Yet she stands her ground, her resolve unbroken. She begins to speak, her voice quivering but loud, slicing through the silence like a beacon. She acknowledges the presence of the entity, not with fear, but with understanding. She speaks of its past, the story that the walls of the apartment had whispered to her. She talks of the tragedy that befell it, the sorrow that still lingers, and the pain that has turned into a haunting presence. Her words hang in the air, a silent plea for understanding and cohabitation. She doesn't wish to banish it, but to acknowledge its existence, to understand its pain, and to soothe its lingering torment. Her confrontation is not one of violence, but one of empathy and acceptance. She stands before the entity, fearless, her eyes shining with determination. She has done what few would dare to do, stared into the face of the unknown and acknowledged its existence. But was recognizing the entity's existence enough to pacify it? Only time will tell. As our protagonist stands in the silence of her apartment, the echoes of her confrontation still lingering in the air, she waits for a response, any sign of acknowledgement from the entity. The confrontation has ended, but the story is far from over. Sometimes endings aren't as clear as we'd like them to be. Our protagonist, the woman, had braced herself for a fight, for a struggle against the unseen. Instead, she found herself wrapped in a lull, a deceptive peace that lasted for a few days. The whispers had ceased, the chills had faded, and the house seemed just that, a house, a structure of wood and stone, devoid of the spectral presence that had once claimed it. But the silence was short-lived. One night, as she lay in bed, the whispers returned, a soft susurration that danced on the edge of her consciousness. It was not a language she recognized, but a language she understood. It was a plea, a cry for acknowledgement, for understanding. It was not evil that had taken residence in her home, but a lost soul, a trapped entity. It was not seeking to harm, but to be freed. She realized then what she was dealing with was not a malevolent spirit, but a trapped soul, a lingering echo of a life once lived. It was not seeking to sow fear, but yearning for release. The unseen entity was not a monster lurking in the shadows, but a prisoner bound by invisible chains. The realization was chilling, yet oddly comforting. She was not living in a haunted house, but sharing her space with a silent companion from another realm. The whispers became her constant companion, a haunting melody that was as much a part of her home as the creaking floorboards and the wind whistling through the eaves. It was a symphony of the unseen, a testament to the mysteries that lay beyond our understanding. Her home is now a constant reminder of the thin veil separating our world from the unknown. It is a reminder that not all things can be explained. Not all endings are clear, and not every whisper is just the wind. And so, her story continues, in a house that is more than just a house, in a world that is teetering on the edge of the seen and the unseen, the known and the unknown. Remember, not all things that go bump in the night are there to harm us. As we wrap up our tale, let's revisit the key points that made our story a chilling journey into the unknown. Our protagonist, a young woman of immeasurable courage, dared to confront the unseen in her apartment. This apartment, steeped in history and whispers of the past, was more than just a dwelling. It was a stage for our story, and the entity that resided there, our elusive co-star. This entity, a specter from a bygone era, was not a symbol of malevolence, but rather a reminder of the past that had been forgotten. It's easy to fear what we don't understand, to label it as evil or dangerous. But in reality, the unknown is often merely unfamiliar, not malevolent. Our young woman's bravery in facing this unknown entity was a testament to human resilience. She chose to understand rather than fear, to learn rather than flee. It's through this courage that we come to understand our story's true message. The unknown isn't always a threat. Sometimes it's a gateway, a window into understanding our past and how it shapes our present. Her apartment, once a place of fear, became a haven of knowledge, a testament to the past and its lingering echoes. And the entity, once a phantom to be feared, became a connection to history, a silent storyteller whispering tales of days long gone. So, as we part ways, let's remember the lessons from our story. Courage in the face of the unknown, history's eternal echo, the non-malevolence of the unfamiliar. These are the threads that weave our chilling tale, the heartbeats that echo in our bedtime scary stories. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share this video with your friends. Until next time, remember, the world is full of mysteries waiting to be unraveled.